Alright, I have the new K&N air filter installed, and I have the handy dandy sticker here on the front of the car. So if somebody's servicing the car, they don't throw away the $200 filter. So basically, it was pretty easy. Took off those big clunky gigantic air cleaners, as I explained in the other video, that had one intake going towards the firewall, taking in hot air, and then the other intake going towards the radiator support, getting cooler air from over the hood. Well, under the hood and over the radiator support. But so this is in, and some people were asking me why it doesn't have a smaller port up here and a larger one back there, because this one's closer to the filter, but the ports match the carburetors perfectly, so that's one thing. And then it has a gasket in there to keep any microns from going through and getting dirt into the carburetors. These are twin SU carburetors. So the engineering of this is employs what's called the Bernoulli's principle by this Italian guy named Bernoulli. He, in physics, came up with what's called the Venturi effect. Well, he discovered it, and basically it states that, you know, there's a larger, like, more loose charge of air particles here, molecules, and they get squeezed into this tapered chamber here, and it gets tighter here for more velocity, kind of like your hose when you're spraying your garden with a hose, and the water goes through that tight little nozzle. So there's a higher velocity here than here, theoretically, because it goes all the way down here through this tighter charge. But this one's closer to the air cleaner, so it kind of equalizes. This one has the advantage of being closer to the air cleaner, and this one has the advantage of having a force of air going into it through this tighter, more restricted plate that brings the molecules together. Like I said, makes more velocity. So theoretically, you're really getting it's good engineering, because you're getting a matched charge of air to both carburetors, which is good. Some fine tuning of the carburetors would be ideal. That's probably what I'll end up doing to make it all work properly. But it should sound great, and less restriction of air through those big clunky metal air filters. So, well, filter covers. But anyways, I do plan on taking this and plumbing it to this hole in the radiator support and enlarging that, and then putting the air filter out here in front of the car, so that air comes right through the grill into that cone. And I might even put a larger cone on, but that's in the future. We'll try this out for now. And then the cold air that's in here in front of that radiator fan, which also that radiator fan pulling air will be pulling air across it, kind of making even more forced air induction, will go through that hole and into the intake system. This system altogether will raise the horsepower a little, creates better gas mileage, just lets the engine breathe easier to match that header down there. So the engine takes in air quickly and puts air out. An engine is basically an air pump with some fuel added in. There's my fuel gauge from the pump and filter. That's the fuel line, goes into the carburetors. So that's it.